Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of NXT. We are just 1 week away from the NXT Great American Bash pay-per-view, and here comes Samoa Joe down to the ring. Samoa Joe made his intentions very clear last week with what he planned on doing. He made a statement in his NXT return when he got traded over here from Raw to NXT. And he's going to continue a feud with Sting. It was CM Punk versus Sting last Wednesday night, last week here on NXT. NXT would have a hell of a matchup. CM Punk would end up defeating Sting, and from the crowd, Samoa Joe would come and beat down Sting on the outside and laying him out to dry. So now Samoa Joe, like I mentioned, his intentions are pretty clear. He's not going to be waiting around. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I mean, he hasn't been a nice guy when he feuded with Sting. Sting got the upper hand on him at that time, but Samoa Joe has not forgotten, and he sure as hell wants his victory back. But tonight, Samoa Joe is going to have a tough test, I would say, of Madcap Moss, young prospect here in NXT. Madcap Moss is more of a nickname, it's more of Riddick Moss, but as of right now he's going with Madcap Moss. We've seen some matches for Madcap Moss, even in the tag team division, where Madcap Moss teams up with Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak is not here tonight, so Madcap Moss is going at it alone, but it's a perfect teacher-student type of situation where Drew Gulak has been wrestling for forever. Madcap Moss, he's wrestled for a while, but Drew Gulak can definitely be a good teacher and take Madcap Moss to the right direction. So we'll see how Madcap Moss fares tonight. It is going to be a tough test, though. A Coquina Clutch, Muscle Buster, a lot of big-time maneuvers Madcap Moss has to worry about tonight on this jam-packed episode. If we're ringing the bell, here we go. And look at Joe coming right after Madcap Moss. Oh, big time headbutt early on here, but like I mentioned, from everything that we've been released on the community tie-up, ladies and gentlemen, we have a huge night in store for you guys from top to bottom, including the main event tonight is the United Kingdom Championship matchup, ladies and gentlemen, between your United Kingdom champion Bron Breakker and Grayson Waller, two massive prospects here that are on NXT. They were traded to Monday Night Raw, so you got to think after tonight, only we're going to really see one superstar. If you think if Bron Breakker stays on this roster, if he wins over Grayson Waller, it would be kind of Grayson Waller's send-off match, and vice versa for Bron Breakker. If Bron Breakker loses, it's an easy thing for him to ship on over to Monday Night Raw and focus on bigger and better things. But we'll see how it fares in that matchup, and including that big-time pay-per-view matchup that we could normally see on a pay-per-view, but we're seeing it here live on NXT. Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. Massive matchup there for both men, because Chris Jericho, he's going to be facing CM Punk next week at the Great American Bash for the NXT Championship. And then you got Kenny Omega that is scheduled to answer Adam Cole's question, but a lot of rumors swirling that Adam Cole may be wanting his answer sooner rather than later. And then also tonight, big-time tag team matchup, the Revival take on Hit Row, where the Revival plan on sending a message to the Young Bucks just before their once-in-a-lifetime type of tag team matchup. A matchup that a lot of superstars and a lot of people in the back and wrestlers all over the world are expecting to be a barn burner of a match, because this is the first time ever we're going to see this here in WWE. As we get talking back more about this matchup, Madcap Moss is staying pretty good with Samoa Joe. And even if Drew Gulak could be here at ringside, he could very well help out Mr. Madcap Moss. And actually, Drew Gulak will be in action later on tonight. He'll be taking on MJF later on. So we'll see if Madcap Moss will join Drew Gulak, or if it'll be kind of like what we're dealing with right now. It's a big elbow to the dome, takes down Samoa Joe. Madcap Moss, like I mentioned, pretty impressive to be staying in here with a man like Samoa Joe. Is a key reversal now from Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is a former Intercontinental Champion, former Universal Champion, and I believe I can even say former WWE Champion. So for Samoa Joe, he's had massive wins in his career. He's not some guy you can, really say, oh, he hasn't done anything in his career. Hell no, he has done a lot in his career. It's now Samoa Joe, big clothesline from behind. And now springboarding, boom. Both men are at a stalemate at this very point. And now Samoa Joe with the shoulder block, taking him down. And now Joe, ooh, big elbow to the ribs there, trying to take all the breath out of Mr. Madcap Moss there. And like we mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen, we even have a women's matchup tonight. Cora Jade, your NXT Women's Champion, she'll be in action later on tonight. I believe she'll be taking on Aaliyah later on tonight. That should be a good matchup for Cora Jade as she gets ready to defend against her good friend Roxanne Perez. And next week's NXT TakeOver, Great American Bash. Oh my goodness. That kick to the side of the skull, dead on, very well could have hit the nose. And oh, look at Madcap Moss firing it up here. Here comes Madcap. Samoa Joe, I mean, if he's not able to put away Madcap Moss soon, we could see a possible upset here. And now, big knees to the kidneys, to the ribs here. Certainly will not be feeling good, especially on the right side of Samoa Joe's ribs there. And now Madcap Moss looking to pull up an upset victory of the ages. But no, Joe not going to go down that easily. And look at Joe, the veteran maneuver right here, simply rolling out. But now Madcap Moss looking to fly here. Big axe handle takes down the former champion. Does Madcap Moss have Joe in trouble here? And oh, now a little bit of a bear hug. Bear hug situation. Perfect. I mean, he could make Samoa Joe tap out right now, throw him back in the ring, go for the pinfall. I honestly think this is a great strategy for Madcap Moss. But maybe don't let Samoa Joe get back in this matchup. And he stuns Madcap Moss. And just like that, now Joe is back in this matchup. Samoa Joe is just one of those dangerous superstars that you cannot just give him any leeway in any type of match. And now Joe looking to maybe put the final touches of this matchup here. Gonna Irish whip him into the corner. What does Joe have in store here? Face to face, oh, big elbow. Here comes Madcap Moss, but no, Joe. Big headbutt. Back and forth we go. Impressive matchup we're seeing to kick off in NXT. And it's going to be one hell of a night to be continued with. As now Samoa Joe. We've seen him win plenty of matches in his long career here in WWE. Doesn't matter what brand, Raw, NXT, SmackDown. Is this enough? Yes, it is. Big pinfall for Samoa Joe with those suplexes. And now Samoa Joe. Oh, now he's going to... Come on. Just beaten down. Oh, no. Come on, ref. Get out of there. Looks like Samoa Joe may be finally leaving. Referee going to check on him. Oh. Oh, no. He's pulling out the tables now. He's going to send a message to Sting. He's going to lay out Madcap Moss. Oh, no. This is not what I was expecting. Samoa Joe on a rampage. Oh, no. Come on, ref. Get back in there. Oh, no. Samoa Joe going to go for a choke slam. Yes, he does. Choke slam. Madcap Moss through the damn table. What in the hell? Come on, Joe. This is just how low Samoa Joe is willing to go to get in Sting's head. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and now we are going to have ourselves a one-on-one matchup between Jon Moxley and the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. If you guys remember, a couple months back, Jinder Mahal made his return here to NXT, told everyone that he planned on going back to his glory days when he was, I guess you could say, the early stages of NXT, the very early stages of when Triple H was building up NXT, the really baby stages of when it was Seth Rollins, Jinder Mahal, back, like I mentioned, the early stages of NXT. he plans on bringing back the good days, at least in his eyes. But with all the talent we have here, with the big trades and the returns and everything like that, it's going to be tough for Jinder. But if Jinder can beat the North American champion tonight, certainly that may give him an opportunity down the line, or at least have a good showing tonight. We'll see how that goes for Mr. Jinder Mahal tonight. Jon Moxley will be defending his North American Championship against Christian coming up next week at the NXT Great American Bash pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be one heck of a matchup. And not only is that happening, as you can see right there, he is the NXT Tag Team Champion. And we'll see Jon Moxley defend with Bryan Danielson the Tag Team Championships against the Creed Brothers. And for Mr. Jon Moxley, look at that. Having both championships is very impressive indeed. We'll see how Jon Moxley will fare. If he's going to be able to hold on both championships, lose one championship maybe, or walk out with no championships. And if you guys are new,
this man is determined to be the exception rather than the rule.
As you can tell, Cesaro there joining with the Blackpool Combat Club. Christian took on Cesaro one-on-one. Christian would go on to defeat Cesaro, and Moxley would come out and answer Christian's rematch opportunity. And he also told him that Cesaro was part of the group. I think this is a perfect thing for the Blackpool Combat Club. Let's look at that double championship, man. Absolutely amazing how this man can be double champion. But Moxley, he's all about devastation in that ring, and we're absolutely going to see the Creed Brothers and the Blackpool Combat Club go to war. Certainly the Creed Brothers and the Blackpool Combat Club, a couple weeks ago, they tore down the house in that tag team match finals, the crown, the vacated NXT Tag Team Championships. And certainly that little tournament that we saw is certainly, I would say, definitely one of our better tournaments in recent history, especially here in NXT. As Jinder Mahal coming here right out of the gate, coming right after the double champion here. And certainly for Moxley's hopes tonight, he's going to certainly want to focus on beating Jinder Mahal tonight and not walk out, too battered and bruised, so that he can be ready for next week's massive NXT Great American Bash pay-per-view. Now, Jinder Mahal, right there on the lower back, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly not going to be feeling the best right there. And certainly Jinder Mahal and Jon Moxley had, their fair share of matches there and on the main roster there in Monday Night Raw and even Friday Night SmackDown. Wait a minute. Jinder Mahal looking to go high risk. Big axe handle misses. And look at Bryan Danielson making sure he keeps an eye on Mr. Veer Mahan, a very dangerous superstar in his own right. Is now Moxley going to work on that left shoulder blade. Oh my goodness. Moxley's one dangerous man, like you guys all know. He loves those Extreme Rules type of matches, man. So it's one of those superstars you got to keep an eye on. Because you think you're able to do a certain maneuver, you might think, oh, okay, hey, this is going to completely do something to him, and Moxley's able to shake it off and all that type of stuff. So you got to expect to put twice as much damage if you even plan on beating Jon Moxley. Moxley, a former United States champion, former Intercontinental champion. I should say former Intercontinental champion. I don't fully remember if he does have a United States Championship reign. I do fully remember the Intercontinental Championship reign that he's had. Former tag team champions there in the Shield. So Moxley does have that championship pedigree, especially current North American champion, current tag team champion here in NXT. So when it comes to Jon Moxley, he certainly knows how to win those big-time matches. He's had his fair share of big-time matches in his career. Bray Wyatt, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, AOP, and I literally could go on for days. Apollo Crews, like I mentioned, he's had matches with Jinder Mahal before, but he's had a little bit of a taste of everybody. Giants, cruiserweights, anything you can think of. The camel clutch here on Jon Moxley. Will Jon Moxley have to tap out? He's very close to the ropes if he wants to just try to grasp it, but Moxley able to get out of it, slip out of it, and he's able to get out of it here momentarily. We'll see if he can get back in this matchup, though. Taking down Jinder Mahal slowly but surely, trying to do everything in his power to get back in this matchup. Oh, big haymaker. Here comes Jinder. And now, don't hinder Jinder. Big time suplex. So then, this is a perfect opportunity for Jinder Mahal. Uh-oh. Gonna go for the Colossus. No, Moxley. Perfect timing with the reversal. Into a cutter. A cutter out of nowhere there from Jon Moxley. Turning this match around. Can he keep this up, though? Uh-oh. He's going to look for the dirty deeds. The dirty deeds there from Jon Moxley. Certainly that may be enough to put away Jinder. Will it be? Referee getting herself in position a little bit slower to the count here. 2, 3. No matter the weight, Jon Moxley coming out here, sending the message to Jinder as well as Christian, his opponent, next week live at the NXT Great American Bash pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly going to be one heck of a rematch in that NXT North American Championship matchup. I'm looking forward to that match. There's Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, got Cesaro in the ring to celebrate. Big time win for Jon Moxley here, live on NXT. And now we get ourselves MJF taking on Drew Gulak. Been a great night so far in the terms of in-ring action live here on NXT. Like we mentioned on Raw, you're going to see all sorts of new stages that the general managers for each brand, HBK for Raw, Bret Hart for NXT, and obviously JBL for SmackDown. You're going to see all sorts of new stages. Bret Hart picked this stage, I don't know why, but I mean certainly it does have that big fight feel for this arena. And certainly what Bret Hart is doing is certainly what his main mission was when he took over this job from Triple H. Is he wanted these superstars to be feeling that big stage all the time, so that when they ever were to get moved up or traded or whatnot, they are prepared. And a lot of these superstars are already ready for that big time stage with all these big time veterans and whatnot whoever in the roster. But for MJF, one of the bigger talents that we have here in NXT, as he'd be taking on Drew Gulak. MJF looking to get his stock to be continuing to rise. Drew Gulak wasn't out here with Madcap Moss, and leading to what we kind of saw Madcap Moss being put through a table by Samoa Joe. So we'll see how Drew Gulak fares tonight. Submission Magician. I know that's what Shayna Baszler's her nickname is, with many others, with the Queen of Spades and everything. But Drew Gulak is definitely a master of multi-submissions, that technical wrestling background as well. So we'll see how Drew Gulak fares tonight in this matchup against MJF. MJF looking to continue to stay in the main event picture with all these main event talents right here that are trying to take over. I mean, MJF certainly had his opportunity to take that NXT Championship away from CM Punk and was not able to. Referee ringing the bell, and now MJF not letting Drew Gulak breathe. He's coming right after Gulak, beating the living crap out of Drew Gulak. That is just how desperate this man, how coward in the MJF is right now. Come on. And now big boot there to Drew Gulak. Crowd chant for NXT, but certainly not what we were expecting here in this opening bout. I guess you should understand with how MJF runs his things, but certainly not what anybody. And now Gulak has to try and game plan now at a certain part of this matchup, but MJF coming out here just trying to take it here to Drew Gulak. Submission hold, single leg submission. Gulak honestly might be down or now. I don't know how much damage is certainly done to him. He's already eaten a big boot and multiple punches to the face. You never know what possible damage is done to that left leg. But certainly, MJF is one step of Drew Gulak. I certainly wasn't expecting MJF to be coming out here doing this right as the bell ring. Now big time suplex taken there to Gulak. This is just who MJF is, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter if you're cream of the crop, the top of the top, or if you're one of the superstars trying to make a name for yourself. MJF will do anything in his power to pick up a victory. And look at MJF just rubbing in everyone's face here as a big clothesline. Man, this is just, look at this cockiness from it. MJF, man. Could you imagine if he becomes champion sometime, how that's gonna be? So he tries to go for that Macho Man elbow drop. And Gulak was able to roll out the ring. Gulak needs to figure out something now. Perfect opportunity. I'd go for the elbow right now. Because that elbow from Goshnar, probably what, 10 feet almost in the air, rolling with an elbow drop to the outside, certainly is not going to be too good. You could shatter your elbow and anything else right now. Gulak trying to talk some more trash to Gulak, or Gulak trying to talk some trash to MJF, but certainly that's not working because MJF has him in a surfboard submission. Oh my goodness. That certainly is not going to be feeling too good. Pinfall opportunity. Will this be enough? 2. No, big strong kick out there from Gulak. Gulak has been able to survive this matchup for quite a long time, but we'll see if he's going to be able to continue to keep this up. And another release powerbomb takes down MJF. Gulak, can he pick up an upset victory tonight? No, not yet anyway. It's a big possibility though. Big kick to the midsection now. Gulak. Uh-oh. Look at this. Look at this submission. Just torching his shoulder blades and everything. But Gulak able to get tossed out of the area. And MJF keeps himself in this matchup momentarily. But now Gulak, he's fired himself up. Possible last-ditch effort to keep himself in this matchup. Now, question is for Gulak. What does he need to do here? And he knows what he's doing now. Submission hold here. Middle of the ring. Will MJF have to tap out? He may have to tap out. There's literally nowhere else to go, but he's able to slip out of it. And a big kick to the middle of that, and right just like that, MJF certainly going to get himself back in this matchup. Didn't take him long. He's world championship material for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone in this crowd tonight, the sold-out venue here for this newest edition of NXT, certainly going to see a bunch of action tonight here. A lot of back and forth action. As MJF with a double underhook suplex, tossing Gulak all over the place here. Oh my goodness, an elbow on the bridge of the nose. Take too many of those, you end up with a concussion, broken nose, whatever else that you could think of. Whatever it's going to be horrendous. Judge Gulak may not have started bleeding out of his nose. Big haymaker there from MJF. Certainly trying to bust open that face there. And now, oh no, not on the hardest part of the ring. No, no, no. Oh my goodness. Back suplex from MJF. And right there in the face of that little kid saying no. Little shades of Bryan Danielson in his early stages of his career. But, MJF, he's that brash, that cocky confidence just spewing out of him. And now, looking to go high risk. MJF, big elbow to the middle of that back. Will that be it? Pinfall opportunity. Referee right there. 2, 3. This matchup would probably be so different, ladies and gentlemen, if we didn't see MJF attack Drew Gulak like he did to begin this matchup. Just big elbow to the middle of that back. It wasn't the prettiest win you're ever going to see, but MJF picking up a win over Drew Gulak. Madcap Moss being taken out by Samoa Joe. MJF taking out Drew Gulak. We'll see how it continues to go for the ever cocky, confident young man in MJF. Samoa Joe, you wanted my attention. You certainly got it. After that cowardly attack you did to me after my painful loss to CM Punk. You decided to come out through the crowd and attack me and beat me down like the coward that you are. Just because I beat you in a submission matchup recently on Monday Night Raw pay-per-view, you get all pissed off about that. I understand losing to me was not in your game plan of taking over Raw at that time, but certainly us getting traded over here to NXT and you still being the way that you are, it's pretty childish. But you know what? If you want another loss against me, you're certainly going to get it next week at the Great American Bash. You told the whole world that that pay-per-view matchup, that if it was a normal matchup, you would have beaten me. But it was a submission matchup and I made you tap out. So you know what? Next week I'm going to prove everyone right that I can beat you in a normal matchup or even submission matchup or any stipulation matchup, Joe. I'm better than you every day of the year, 365, 24/7, it doesn't matter. I certainly know what the Great American Bash means to everybody, especially back when I was there in WCW. We've had plenty of Great American Bashes back then, but the results not going to differ any other night. I'm going to be getting my hand raised 1, 2, 3, and you're going to continue to bitch and complain that you can't get the job done. So I'll see you next week, Joe, and you're going to get your ass beat no matter what. We are backstage here, and it looks like Mr. Adonis is getting all set up, making sure his looks are all setting up here, but coming up here very shortly, Mr. Adonis will be in tag team action as it's going to be Hit Row taking on the Revival. As look, there's Cash Wheeler out here taking out Mr. Adonis before their big time tag team matchup here tonight. Come on now, there's no need for this. We're not even going to have a tag team match now. Top Dollar trying to find Bret the Hitman Hart. Figure out what's going on, but right now, Dex Harwood taking out Top Dollar backstage now. You would think that they'd stay together. They should know what FTR is capable of. And it looks like we're not going to get that tag team matchup tonight. Next contest, Cora Jade is in action against Leah. Leah is already in the ring as we wait for your NXT Women's Champion, Cora Jade. Cora Jade next Wednesday live at the NXT Great American Bash pay-per-view. Normally, these NXT TakeOver pay-per-views happen on a Saturday, but for the first time in a very long time, these pay-per-views will be on the night of a normal NXT episode. It's going to be a special NXT Great American Bash. It's going to be an amazing night for the Great American Bash. Plenty of big time action coming your guys' way. Cora Jade seems like she is ready. I mean, she's going to have to be, especially when she takes on Roxanne Perez, one half of the former Women's Tag Team Champions here in NXT. Roxanne and Cora Jade, good friends here in NXT. We'll see if it's going to continue leading up to the Great American Bash next week here live on NXT. Now, big drop kick right to the dome, takes out Aaliyah. It's a perfect opportunity for Aaliyah to showcase her skills, to get herself some more opportunities, especially against the Women's Champion. And with Cora Jade, she's only had a handful of matches, same with Aaliyah. Cora Jade's had some more matches, obviously more than Aaliyah, but, you know, getting these reps under their belt is perfect right now. They definitely need it. Oh, big senton right there to the ribs. And you guys just saw just a little bit ago, unfortunately, that we saw Hit Row being taken out by the Revival, and then being told by Bret the Hitman Hart that tag team match has been thrown out the way after the cowardly attack from the Revival. The Revival talk all that crap to the Young Bucks, saying that they're going to come out here and prove what they're worth to everybody. And tonight we just see how cowardly they are. So next week we're going to see a big-time tag team matchup between the Revival and the Young Bucks. And I mean, I guess I can kind of see what the Revival are doing there. They're not wanting to possibly get hurt or anything, or let the Young Bucks maybe get the upper hand on them. It's a big back suplex there from Aaliyah. But we, despite that not having that tag team matchup tonight, we are going to have some more big-time matches. We still have Kenny Omega versus Mr. Chris Jericho coming up here very soon, as well as the big-time matchup tonight for the United Kingdom Championship, Bron Breakker versus Grayson Waller. We'll see if Bron Breakker can somehow dig down deep and continue to have his United Kingdom Championship reign, or if it will end tonight in the hands of the young up-and-coming superstar, the man that doesn't care besides just money and championships, the same way that Bron Breakker is. He's all about championships. That new darker side of Bron Breakker, it's all about that championship, getting that United Kingdom Championship, because obviously when you hold a championship you get more money, more fame, and everything, and certainly both of those men are wanting to do that, and certainly they're going to get the limelight when they're on Monday Night Raw. Because in that trade, they were traded over to Raw. That's a big, ooh, just ripping her down by her hair. That's certainly not going to be feeling too good. Is now Cora Jade, high risk, going for a forearm strike, missing out. And Aaliyah looking really good against the women's champion right now. And look at Aaliyah, these aggressiveness coming out right on the middle of that back. Seems like she's very fired up right now. The champion is in trouble. Imagine the upset victory. Imagine how Cora Jade will feel if somehow, someway, Aaliyah is able to knock her off just a week before the Great American Bash pay-per-view. Out of that vicious knee strike, pinfall, hook of that leg. Ooh, strong kick out there at a 1 count there from Cora. Now this is, if I'm Aaliyah, this is the perfect time to try to put her away. Big super kick to the ribs. She's just literally throwing Cora Jade off her game. And if I'm Roxanne, I might be liking this right now. I'd be taking some notes in the back, jotting down what exactly Aaliyah is doing quite well against Cora Jade at this moment. Going for the knee strike and missing out. Cora Jade, she needs to capitalize here. Going for some kind of DDT of sorts, but misses out. I mean, if Aaliyah can get some more opportunities, certainly, you know, she might get her a shot at maybe NXT Women's Championship down the line. I mean, obviously she's going to need to get some more wins, but this is perfect right now. Now look at Aaliyah stretching out Cora Jade right now. Will Cora Jade have to tap? Uh-oh. Can Cora Jade slip out? Yes, oh, maybe? Ooh, big punches, and she was able to, that big punch straight to the temple. Oh, and now this is what Cora Jade needs to do to get herself back in this matchup. Facing these other women in this women's division is certainly going to help her out. You're going to see all sorts of different women in this roster. What different types of women strategies we're going to see, especially from Roxanne and all these other women that are willing to make a name for themselves. Especially when you have the likes of Dana Brooke and all these other superstars that have been on the main roster. Nice drop kick to the middle of the back. Aaliyah is getting Cora Jade a bunch of momentum that she doesn't need. A jumping DDT. Pinfall. Is that enough? 2, 3. Yes, it is. Cora Jade had a fight of her life tonight, but she's showing you the resiliency tonight. A jumping DDT tonight. Brought that big fight feel tonight. Aaliyah put on one heck of a test tonight for the women's champion, but Cora Jade walks out with a big win for herself. But will she walk out with the NXT Women's Championship coming up next week here live on NXT? Here comes your co-main event of the evening. Chris Jericho is looking to get that NXT Championship around his waist, live here next week at the Great American Bash pay-per-view. But can Chris Jericho do it? It's another big-time opportunity. I mean, you're going to have literally two best in the world superstars going at it. CM Punk and Chris Jericho. Two of the biggest names here in NXT, and that's saying something. I mean, with the likes of MJF, Samoa Joe, Sting, Adam Cole now, and Kenny Omega for sure, like I mentioned, but even the likes of Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Cesaro, the Creed brothers, just the amount of talent. I could literally go on for days, but NXT is starting to take shape, and certainly after the Great American Bash, we will certainly know what the stakes will be certainly looking like. But certainly there's going to be a lot of people believing that Chris Jericho may get his first NXT championship reign, but will he be able to over the very unstoppable CM Punk, who has been, like we mentioned before, he's had that dominant reign ever since being able to challenge for the NXT championship at NXT TakeOver in your house. And now here comes Kenny Omega. This man right here going to have himself a big night tonight in this big-time matchup. Certainly going to be looking for the win, but there's been rumors swirling all night and all week, certainly at that Adam Cole, it may be looking to get his answer sooner rather than later, and might be waiting tonight to get his answer instead of having to wait another week at NXT TakeOver, Great American Bash. But you know, the rumors are what they are, rumors, until it very well happens. So we'll see how Kenny Omega handles what's going on tonight. Kenny Omega, I'm sure he's not surprised with how the Revival handled things earlier tonight by attacking Mr. Adonis and Top Dollar earlier on tonight, as we were scheduled to see tag team action, but we weren't able to. As the referee rings the bell, main event of the evening, big time matchup, a match that certainly we could have seen at a pay-per-view, but tonight we're seeing it right now. NXT needs a big match, and certainly we are gonna get it as a springboard elbow, taking out Kenny Omega. And certainly Chris Jericho's had his fair share of main event matches on Raw and SmackDown. Kenny Omega, you know, he's main evented all over the place on all the other promotions. Same for him and the Young Bucks, but this is a whole different ball game here in NXT. Yeah, you got big name talent, a lot of superstars that Kenny Omega has definitely seen on the independent scene, but you know, there's a lot of times where you're not going to be able to just get into the championship picture right away. You're going to have to deal with these other big time superstars, and it's just one of those things where, you know, it's Kenny Omega over the top, taking out Chris Jericho. Just like I've said before, it's just one of those things that Kenny Omega is going to have to pick up big win after big one here on NXT, and he will definitely get his opportunity. And certainly I can see Kenny Omega being NXT champion here very, very soon. But we'll see how he fares here tonight against one of the best, if not the best, here on NXT. Kenny Omega with the double underhook. Pile driver to the outside. Holy cow. How impressive is that? And especially for Chris Jericho even to be walking at this very moment. Just getting your neck, just getting hit with a pile driver. We may see a count-out victory here. Hopefully we don't. Be a shame to see a count-out as Jericho slowly but surely gets himself back in the ring. Stops a potential count-out. Looks like it was almost to a 7 count. As look at that brain buster there from Kenny Omega. Chris Jericho is in trouble. Pinfall. Will that be enough? No. Jericho keeps himself in the ball game, but for how much longer? As Kenny Omega's maybe possibly sending up the end of the matchup, maybe trying to set up that V-trigger, but Chris Jericho a little bit faster in the exchange. Go for the double knees. The code breaker there from Jericho. And now the walls, can he lock it in? Yes, the walls are Jericho are in. Will Kenny Omega be forced to tap out? Kenny Omega nowhere to go, and now Omega able to get out of it. Thankfully, not too much damage done to the back. We'll see if Omega can get himself back in this matchup. Seemed like a little bit slow trying to get to Jericho, and Jericho will make him pay. Now, this is not where you want Chris Jericho to be going right now. He may be up there in age, but certainly age is a testament to what Chris Jericho can still do in that ring. Age is just a number to this superstar. As Jericho, what a moonsault from the top rope. Certainly, that may be it. No, Kenny Omega keeps himself in the matchup. But for how much longer, though? As now Jericho. Omega, he senses Jericho might be trying to put him away. Omega now, big old jumping knee strike, trying to steal victory against Mr. Jericho. Will this be enough? Yes, it is. The jumping knee out of nowhere. Kenny Omega with a massive, massive win over Chris Jericho tonight. It certainly seemed that Chris Jericho may be moments away, but Jericho was able to get figured out by Kenny Omega, and Kenny Omega picks up a massive win here live on NXT. And I'm being told next it is time that we're actually going to be hearing from Adam Cole live here on NXT while Kenny Omega is still out here. And just like we were waiting for, Adam Cole making his way down to the ring, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Cole isn't going to be waiting until the Great American Bash like once he said he was going to do. Adam Cole is out here for an answer. No more waiting. No more playing around. No more waiting for Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks to get situated. It is time to figure out if Adam Cole, or I should say if Kenny Omega will join up with Adam Cole. Be a big opportunity. Be very interesting to see how this is all going to be playing out, ladies and gentlemen. Because, I mean, Adam Cole and Kenny Omega joining up, that'd be very, very interesting to see how that would go. And now, here comes Adam Cole. He's in the ring. He's going to wait for Kenny Omega to get himself in the ring. Oh, this is going to be certainly very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. The rumors were certainly true, Kenny. I was thinking about it more and more, and I really didn't want to wait until the big pay-per-view known as the Great American Bash. It would have been plenty more money, but I certainly want to know where your head is currently at right now. I know you, I know Matt, I know Nick, you guys certainly one of the best, if not the best here, entirely here in NXT, and especially when you guys, the Young Bucks, are going to be taking on the Revival. I'm certainly going to keep my eyes on that. But I would love for you guys to join me. Because we would definitely be the most elite group here in professional wrestling here on NXT. Look at him. Like I said, I'm just finally getting here in NXT. I just picked up a massive win over Chris Jericho, who's challenging CM Punk for the World Championship next week here. But I'm worried about getting myself situated as well as the Young Bucks. So us joining you right now may not be the best idea at this very moment. I certainly respect the living crap out of you, Adam, but like I said, right now, it just may not be the right time. Maybe at a later date. But right now, me and the Young Bucks are perfectly fine with just us three in a group. To be quite honest with you guys, I'm honestly surprised. I thought you and the Young Bucks would want to join up with me and take over NXT, but, you know, like I said before, you're either with me or you're against me, and I certainly just got my answer. And now I got to do something that I may regret later, but I'm certainly not going to regret it now. Adam Cole meant by that, former WWE champion. Hold on, Adam Cole from behind. Shining Wizard there from Adam Cole. What in the hell? He said you're either with me or against me. And certainly we are getting what exactly he meant by that. Shockingly attacking one of his good friends, a man that these guys have went back and forth on the independent scene, and this man has the balls to do this. Oh my god, no. Oh my god. Panama Sunrise to Kenny Omega. Former WWE champion Adam Cole laying waste to Kenny Omega. Oh my goodness, there's multiple just an insult to injury here. Adam Cole laying out Kenny Omega. This is just horrendous. And now Adam Cole just going to work Kenny Omega, trying to block himself, but no. Now he's busted open, bleeding like a stuffed pig. This is Adam Cole. Why would we expect anything different? An alliance was to be formed. Kenny Omega didn't want to wait right now. He wanted to just be perfectly fine with himself and the Young Bucks. And now, what we're seeing now is just absolutely a heinous assault by Adam Cole. But with how Adam Cole has been his whole career, especially here in NXT, then he was there on SmackDown, and then especially there for a little bit on Raw and everything like that. This is just horrendous, ladies and gentlemen. An absolute brutal assault here by Adam Cole. Oh no. Not the steel steps. Oh my goodness, this is not what we want. He just threw it right on him. You gotta be kidding me. As Kenny Omega's just standing there, not knowing where he's at. And a steel steps right through the temple. And Adam Cole is not done yet. Can we get some referees out here? Stop this assault by this cowardly man. Former NXT champion. Putting Kenny Omega on notice that you're either with him or against him. Panama Sunrise just to the outside there. And Adam Cole lays waste to what you could say a former friend tonight.
He's doing a whole lot of gesturing, and it could cost him.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the NXT UK Championship.
It is main event time for the United Kingdom Championship. Grayson Waller takes on your United Kingdom champion, Bron Breakker, in your main event of the evening. This match was scheduled to take place next week live at the Great American Bash PPV, but Bret the Hitman Hart, with Grayson Waller and Bron Breakker being part of that 4 superstar trade with Monday Night Raw, thought it was a perfect time to have these superstars go at it tonight, move it up from Great American Bash. These 2 up-and-coming superstars bringing their best A-game tonight. The Grayson Waller effect against a man that's been very, very physical, a man that does not care who is in his way. That man is Bron Breakker, who makes his way out here next, live on NXT, and the sold-out capacity crowd. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, Bron Breakker. Will he be spearing the crap out of Grayson Waller, or somehow Grayson Waller be able to stun Bron Breakker tonight and win that United Kingdom Championship? Certainly how Bron Breakker is, man, I mean, I can't go past him, but, you know, Grayson Waller, he's certainly been bringing his A-game as well. It's one of those that you gotta kind of flip up a coin type of situation, because, which is how good both men really are. And if you guys are relatively new and haven't heard about the trade, Monday Night Raw and the trade is getting Bron Breakker, the current United Kingdom champion, Grayson Waller, Carmelo Hayes, who's a part of the King of the Ring tournament, who actually won on Monday Night Raw recently over Ricochet. He is in the semifinals. He's going up against Gunther, as well as Tyler Bate is in that trade as well. So we will see how the Raw side of things will get. We got NXT. They got some big-time superstars as well, but we'll focus on this United Kingdom Championship matchup.
From Sydney, Australia, weighing in at 206 pounds, Grayson Waller.
There's the ever brash, confident Grayson Waller.
And his opponent from Woodstock, Georgia,
And there is your United Kingdom champion, Bron Breakker. He seems like he's very confident, and certainly so. He should be.
And there it is, the NXT United.
Who do you guys think is going to walk out with the championship? This is your main event of the evening. Bron Breakker versus Grayson Waller with that ever prestigious United Kingdom championship. A lot of great names have held that championship here in the series, and it's only going to continue to get better. Will it be Bron? Will it be Grayson? Let's find out right here, right now. Referee rings the bell. Big time United Kingdom championship on display. Look at that release suplex. That's that strength, that power Bron Breakker brings every single night. But he's taking too much time to taunt this crowd, and now Grayson Waller gonna look to capitalize on that early mistake. Missing that big boot. Now Bron Breakker gonna try to get himself back in this matchup. Big haymaker. Here comes Bron Breakker now. Now look at Bron. Bron stretching out that left arm. Certainly not going to be feeling too good. And now Bron Breakker off the rope. Both men running into each other. Certainly, these guys know each other. I mean, they've basically came in the NXT together to an extent. So I mean, these guys know each other. They've watched plenty of tape between both of these superstars. Grayson Waller's been in matches with Christian here in NXT. Bron Breakker's been in some good matches, certainly, as Grayson Waller with a suicide dive, taking down Breakker. And Grayson Waller feeling himself up here early on. But you do not want to give any time. As look at Bron Breakker, the military press slam. Right. Just like that, making Bron Breakker getting all the momentum back in his corner. And now this is where Bron can be very, very dangerous. And now, oh my goodness. Well, as soon as I say that, Bron Breakker having another big mistake. And look at referee trying to hold back Grayson Waller, and referee certainly helping out Bron Breakker in that situation. I think it was just because the referee was trying to make sure that Grayson Waller stays in the ring while Bron Breakker gets back in the ring. And holy crap, what a stomp there from Grayson Waller. I feel like every single week we watch Grayson Waller on display, I feel like he pulls out all sorts of different moves in his repertoire. And now Grayson Waller gonna, stomp on the hand right there multiple times. And that's what if you're Grayson Waller, this is a brilliant strategy to hurt the champ as bad as you can right now. It's in the confines of a, it's nothing too legal. Yes, it's heinous, it's brutal, but it's no bad way to really say that it should be disqualification whatsoever. As now he's just continuing to stomp on that left hand. Bron Breakker very well could have a broken hand during this matchup. Is now Waller gonna go high risk and connect with a arm drag takedown there. Highly effective. Bron Breakker needs to figure his stuff out right now. It's a spine buster there from Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller very well could be moments away from walking out with the championship. Now Bron Breakker though fighting back. Slowly but surely. Big clothesline. Here comes big man Bron Breakker. Big time back body drop. And just like that, Bron Breakker back in this matchup. And look at Breakker talking some major trash to Grayson Waller. As now Breakker looking to end this matchup. High risk, high reward. Big time elbow. Trying to cave in the chest. Pinfall opportunity. But a big strong kick out there from Grayson Waller. Both men will be seeing both of these men on Monday Night Raw coming up very, very soon. As a spear there from Bron Breakker. Did he just spear him in half enough to retain the championship? No! Grayson Waller with a big kick out. And now Breakker, he's freaking out right now. But now, he's believing he's got to put the finishing touches on him. And now, Grayson Waller with a big elbow though. And that's what Grayson Waller needed right now. A pivotal reversal in this matchup. Referee right there in position. Hook of the leg. Big strong kick out at one. And if you guys are just tuning in, this is your massive main event for the United Kingdom Championship. A massive main event right here Grayson Waller trying to figure out what he wants to do to Bron, but taking way too much time as Bron Breakker gets himself out of that current predicament. I don't know what Grayson Waller was really trying to do. It's a stinger splash in the corner. But coming up next week, ladies and gentlemen, we have a massive NXT Great American Bash pay-per-view coming your way. The headline being Chris Jericho versus CM Punk. Oh my goodness, Bron Breakker over the top, putting it all on the line for this United Kingdom Championship. But like I'm trying to say, the NXT pay-per-view coming up, the Great American Bash pay-per-view. It's going to be one hell of a pay-per-view for NXT. The brightest superstars, future, past, and present, will be putting it all on the line at the NXT Great American Bash pay-per-view. It's Bron Breakker just taking his sweet time taunting Grayson. And just like that, Grayson Waller with a big-time spear to the outside. Big elbow, though, from Bron Breakker. And I did misspeak earlier in the matchup between Cora Jade and Aaliyah. We are still scheduled to have that pay-per-view on a Saturday, as a big shoulder tackle takes down Grayson. A lot of back and forth. That's what you gotta love about these matches. Both of these superstars know what is on the line. That United Kingdom Championship is a big-time clothesline. And just like that, a big reset in this matchup. Grayson Waller gonna have to try to decide what he needs to do to put away Bron Breakker. As now Grayson Waller back inside the ring. So, a little bit of a side slam there. May not be the most effective, but it certainly will do to the extent to get Bron Breakker to retain his championship here live tonight in the main event of NXT. As Bron Breakker wasn't able to hit this earlier on tonight. Military power slam. Brutal maneuver, and that certainly may be enough for Breakker to retain the championship tonight, and it is. Bron Breakker retains his United Kingdom Championship live here tonight, live in front of a sold-out capacity crowd. What a power slam there from Bron Breakker. Grayson Waller put on one hell of a battle, but tonight it was Bron Breakker retaining his United Kingdom Championship. And now I'm being told we have a special guest in Bret the Hitman Hart's office, as looks like Bron Breakker will stay out here and celebrate. Bret, stop where you're at. This is a perfect opportunity. You have Bron Breakker and Grayson Waller both going to Monday Night Raw. You want to keep that championship out here on NXT? I'm Mr. Money in the Bank. Normally you can cash in on the NXT Championship, but we all know how big time the United Kingdom champion is. So I want to keep that championship here. I don't want it going to Raw. So I'm going to cash in my Money in the Bank briefcase on Bron Breakker tonight, and we're going to keep that United Kingdom Championship, and we're going to send Bron Breakker home to Monday Night Raw empty-handed. I don't care what you say, but we're keeping that championship here on NXT. No buts. Rusev, there's a lot of things I don't like you and Christian doing here on NXT, but that is a great idea, keeping that United Kingdom Championship from going back and forth on Raw and NXT. So I'll take that Money in the Bank briefcase, and don't let me down. Keep that championship live here on NXT. Go do it. Make your dreams come true, kid.
It's Mr. Money in the Bank.
And now here comes Rusev. He just got done talking to Bret the Hitman Hart backstage there. He's cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase. He wants to keep the United Kingdom Championship here on NXT. This is a great idea from Rusev. Certainly, keeping that championship here from going from Raw to NXT, certainly a good idea. Because I mean, maybe Bron Breakker could defend his United Kingdom Championship on Monday Night Raw. So a perfect cash-in opportunity for Rusev here tonight to end NXT. Rusev versus Breakker now.
Well, somebody's career is going to change tonight.
And there it is, that Money in the Bank briefcase right there by Rusev. Rusev's ready. Bron Breakker is ready, ladies and gentlemen. United Kingdom Championship. He rings the bell. Here we go. Rusev and Bron Breakker. Can Rusev have a successful cash-in, the first ever successful cash-in in NXT history, or will it become the second ever cash-in that has failed? Johnny Gargano being the first ever superstar to attempt to cash in and fail here on NXT. So for Rusev, it's his time. He believes it's his time. He wants to keep that World United Kingdom Championship here on NXT. He doesn't want it going both on Raw and NXT. He wants to keep it on one brand, and certainly so, because, you know, what if Bron Breakker were to defend that championship on Raw? I mean, certainly you'd get more eyes on that championship, but certainly it would take a championship away from NXT as well. So it's one of those things that Rusev, it seems like he wants to keep that championship here on NXT, and it makes sense. And Bret the Hitman Hart he's saying the same thing. It makes sense because obviously Breakker and Waller, they got traded to Monday Night Raw, and you know, it's one of those things. Okay, you know, they're not going to be a mainstay here on NXT anymore, so might as well keep that championship here on NXT. Breakker certainly tore down the house with Grayson Waller, but we'll see how he'll be able to fare tonight with Rusev as a bulldog reversal though from Breakker. Keeps himself in this matchup early on. Will this be enough with that bulldog? Strong kick out from Rusev. A lot of back and forth in this matchup. Bron Breakker just eating up this crowd right now, giving Rusev a thumbs down and this whole arena a thumbs down. Certainly both of these men are not fan favorites. As a reverse face plant, whatever that is, it seems like it's going to maybe somewhat effective. If I was Rusev, I would have maybe tried to go with a power bomb as a much good kick right to the temple there of Breakker. Will that be enough? Two strong kick out from Breakker. Breakker is your United Kingdom champion for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. He has gone through hell and back. Former NXT champion, former United Kingdom champion, or I should say current two-time champion, but we'll see if that's going to continue here live tonight. Oh my goodness, what a backbreaker there. And now Rusev, the ground and pound game. That is not what Breakker wants right now. Bron Breakker just trying to get up to his feet. I don't know if that's the best idea at this moment, but Rusev's going to do everything in his power to take it to Bron Breakker. Oh, big punch there, I think. Yes, Bron Breakker busted wide open on the left side of his cranium there. Yes, it is, right there on the side of the temple. Big jumping, almost like a jumping, like a choke slam-ish type of maneuver. And Breakker just eating up this crowd. But, oh my goodness, right on that. Oh, and again, right to the cranium, right there to the temple where he's bleeding. Rusev now, what is he thinking about? Uh-oh. Almost like a Alabama slam maneuver, and he's going to turn it into an accolade. Will he make Bron Breakker tap out, and will Rusev become the United Kingdom World Champion? Rusev just stretching out that lower back. Breakker bleeding like a stuffed pig on the left side of his head, but able to somehow slip out of that. How is Breakker doing this right now? Breakker now. Pinfall opportunity, but a strong kick out at one. And you can sense the frustration from Bron Breakker, your current United Kingdom champion. He's doing everything in his power to keep himself in it, but Rusev's been one step ahead of him this whole time. It's a big-time spine buster there from Bron. And now Bron's starting to fire up right now. And that is not what Rusev wants right here. A fired-up Bron Breakker willing to go through hell, literal hell, to keep his championship. And now Bron telling Rusev to get up to his feet. Going for a clothesline. I thought maybe setting up for a possible spear. Rusev off the ropes, gets hit with a back body drop. And now Breakker again, another spine buster. And now, will that possibly enough? It very well could be enough to put away Rusev, but a strong kick out. And look at Breakker, the frustration. He feels like that should have been enough to put away Rusev. But if you're Breakker, you got to stay on. Rusev. You cannot let him breathe. As oh, look at this, an accolade. I think he's stealing Rusev's maneuver here. Imagine if Rusev has to tap out to his own maneuver. How this would settle Rusev. How pissed off Rusev would be if he had to tap out to his own maneuver. But Rusev, oh my God, big elbow right the cranium, right there to the face of Bron Breakker, already busted wide open. Oh, and another shot to the other side of the temple. And now a Machka kick, but that didn't really phase him, but that super kick definitely did. Holy crap. And now, uh-oh, is it accolade time? Yes, it is, but a rope break has occurred. A lot of back and forth we're seeing here, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely gotta love it. Oh, look at that! An over-the-head gut-wrench suplex. Could that be enough to see a world champion? 2, 3, yes it is! Rusev is your new United Kingdom champion. What a match for Rusev, ladies and gentlemen. He put himself through hell and high water. I guess it was more of an overhead suplex, you could say. But Rusev is your new United Kingdom champion. And he keeps the championship here live on NXT.